Hi everyone, this is Namrata from IvyProSchool and welcome back to our Power BI series. So today we are going to learn or understand the concept of advanced DAX, time intelligence functions in Power BI. So let's understand what are time intelligence function. So data analysis expression or DAX includes time intelligence function that enable us to manipulate data using time periods like days, months, quarters and years, and then build and compare calculation over those periods. So in today's video, we are going to discuss about 4 time intelligence functions. Number 1 would be previous day, second would be next day, third would be previous month, and the last would be next month. Now let's try to use a data set and see how we can calculate these measures using this time intelligence functions. So let's go to our Power BI. So here you can see as on my right hand side, I have already loaded the orders table. So we will first try to create a table, and it's this table we would like to see order date hierarchy wise. So I'll select date hierarchy, and along with this I would also like to see profit. Okay, so let's pull up profit here. Now let's understand in what type of situation or where we need this time intelligence functions. So suppose we have a sales data and we want to calculate like the previous day profit and next day profit, and then want to try to understand the difference, that whether there has been an increase in profit or decrease in profit or loss. Similarly, with the previous month profit, we can calculate the next month profit and previous month profit and understand the difference between the last month and previous month and next month predicted profit or loss, and accordingly take some decisions. Now if this number is in positive, if this difference number is in positive, then it's a good thing that the profit is increasing or showing a growth day by day or month on month. If it's showing a negative value, then we need to understand the reasons behind that. Now let's try to calculate the previous day profit. So we will simply go here, create new measure, and we would name the measure as previous day profit. Put equal to, let's use calculate function. Now the parameter inside calculate would be total profit. So in this case, we will use sum of profit. We'll close the bracket. Let's put a comma. Now we are going to use the previous day time intelligence function in Power BI. So we'll put as previous. You can see once you put the initials of PREV, we get the options previous day, previous month, previous quarter and previous year. Let's select previous day. Now the parameter to be used under previous day function is date. So in this case, we will use at order date. Okay. So we'll simply select order date. Then we select the dot date. So dot date in this case means every day wise or date wise the previous day profit. So we'll close the bracket. Let's press enter. And we have calculated our previous day profit. Now let's try to bring this calculated field inside the table. So once we expand the table, you can see it's basically showing the profit of previous day. So for January 3, we can see the previous day profit, that is on January 2 is in negative. Again for January 4, it's the previous day profit of January 3 and so on. So as I said, I mean, if the number is in negative, then that's something we need to worry about. But here we can see it's showing some growth. So the number is turning positive. Okay. Now similarly, let's calculate the next day profit as well. So we are again going to use the same calculation. So next day profit and calculate function. Let's bring in sum of profit and close the bracket, comma. Now we are going to use the next time intelligence function, that's next day profit. So we are going to use it as next day, and the date again would be order date dot date, close bracket, press enter. So this is also showing the calculation. Now let's bring in the next day profit field inside. Let's expand the table. and let's bring in the next day profit. Okay, you can now see it's showing the next day profit. So January 1 is showing the next day profit as minus negative 1161, that is of January 2. So January 2 is going to show it for January 3. January 3 is going to show it for January 4, and so on. So now basically we can calculate the difference between these two to understand the difference in increase or decrease, which will help us to understand if there has been a decrease, then what is the reason behind it, and if it's showing a positive, so that means the profit is changing day wise and it's improving. Okay, now this was about previous day profit and next day profit. Now let's try to calculate similarly the next two time intelligence function, that is previous month profit and next month profit. Okay, so I'll keep this table and let's again create a new measure. We will try to show the previous month profit. So let's use the calculate function. Let's use again the sum of profit. Let's close the bracket, and we use the third function in our list, that is previous month. So we are going to use previous month in this case, and the date would be order date. Tap the date. Let's close the bracket and press enter. So it's calculated. Let's bring in the previous month profit inside the table. So right now you can see that for January it's showing empty because before January there has been no data. So the data starts from January. So hence it's showing only for February. Now you can see for February it's basically showing the repeated profit because it will show for 28 days. So how do we make this visualization better? So in the visualization part we can remove the day option, and then you would be able to see in a much better visualization format. So February will be showing as for January, March will be showing for the previous month profit, that is for February. Okay, and so on. Now similarly, let's calculate for next month profit. That's like we are predicting the next month profit. So we are going to name it as next month profit, and let's use the same formula. Calculate sum of profit, and let's close the bracket, put a comma. We are going to use the last in time intelligence function in our list, that is next day. So we put as next days, so that would be next month, and let's put the date as order date. So we'll select order date, tap dot date. Let's close the bracket and press enter. So we have also calculated the next month profit, as you can see in the order table. So let's bring in the next month profit. Okay, so let's close this calculation and bring in the next month profit. So as you can see, now it's showing for January the next month profit, that is 2813. Okay, so it's basically showing for the Feb month. Again for Feb it's going to show the next month 9732, that is the March, and March will again show for April, so that's like 4187. Okay, so it's basically showing the next month profit. Now we can basically create another additional calculation, probably the difference between the previous month profit and the next month profit, to understand the difference in increase or decrease in profit. Hope you have liked this video. Thank you.